ロサンゼルス、ドジャースの大谷翔平選手が通算300本塁打を達成し、投打の両面で MLB の歴史を塗り替える圧倒的な活躍を見せる中、全米を震撼させる信じがたい大失言が飛び出しました。なんと ESPY 賞の授賞式に出席したボクシング界のレジェンドマイク・タイソンが大谷の受賞に対してショウヘイって男なのかと発言し、彼を全く知らないという驚愕の無知を晒したのです。これに対し日本のファンや現地メディアからは、史上最高のアスリートに対してあまりにも無礼すぎる、スポーツ界の頂点に立つ男を知らないとは、老害もいいところだと怒りと軽蔑の声が殺到し、タイソンの失言を糾弾する猛烈な嵐が巻き起こっています。ここからはその様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
And the ESPY award goes to, check this out, Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei could not be here tonight. He sends his gratitude and appreciation to ESPN and everyone who voted for him.
Shohei's the guy.
ボクシング王者が存在すら知らない大谷翔平ですが、野球界ではルースを超えた絶対的な GOAT として全米が熱狂的な議論を交わしているのです。
Anthony Rizzo 1 in 303 and Ted Williams 1 in 521. Those are good ones right there. But my question to you guys is do you think we need to see Shohei climb up there for those all-time counting stats, the Hank Aaron's, the Willie Mays, the Barry Bondses, to be considered the GOAT? Or to me, I think it's just the raid stats and you combine the pitch and hitting. I think that kind of, I know GOAT narrative is very hacked, but like, I mean, just do you think that that's a part of the equation as far as the all-time counting stats for Shohei Ohtani, Jerry?
Listen, I'm not big into longevity stats because you could stay for decades and pull up numbers. I've always been a guy impact. What has been your impact? What did you look like in your prime? Did you absolutely dominate in your prime? And that's what we're seeing with Shohei Ohtani. Now, I expect him to get to 500 home runs. So when it all said and done, you know, he hits 550 and he has X amount of wins as a pitcher and his ERA's, you know, 2.5 as a career as a pitcher. You can't tell me he's not the greatest baseball player ever. You just can't. And I think that's the thing. And I forget, it may have been Sarah Lang who tweeted this out a couple of years ago. What we're seeing with Shohei Ohtani, it's like Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole in one player. That's Shohei Ohtani, you know? So that to me is absolutely elite. Again, no disrespect to Babe Ruth, no disrespect to Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr. If he continues doing what he's doing, and I said it when he hit the 3 home runs in the NLCS to help us win the NLCS and strike out 10 in 6 innings. What else do you want? This is Lawrence Taylor, Tom Brady in one. I always used to say Michael Jordan was Lawrence Taylor and Tom Brady in one. Offense, defense, complete dominance. That's what we're seeing in Shohei Ohtani. Offense, defense, complete dominance. So some other people think that he needs a couple more years to go to have that stamp. Fine. I totally understand that. But if he does that in the next 3, 4, 5 years, and he does get to 500 home runs eventually and is continuing being a dominant force on the mound, it's going to be hard to make a case for anybody else.
Yeah, and he's about to get that. I mean, he's going to get the 5th unanimous MVP, could win a Cy Young. And Fabian, we know, based on your jersey, you're very familiar with GOATs, yourself and Lionel Messi. Knowing Shohei the way you do, like, how much do you think it's his front of mind, just the North Star of his career, of just wanting to go down and be the greatest player to ever play this game?
I think so. Yeah, like absolutely. I think all the guys kind of think about it that way. At least, like, you have to acknowledge it, especially when you sort of understand you have a chance to do it. I think to the longevity point, like I know obviously he gave that interview to the Japanese magazine about a month or so ago, basically talking about like his pitching career. And basically he doesn't want to think about it as like, oh, I want to keep pitching till I'm 40. Like, no, I want to have this dominant stretch. Like, I want to do the best I can do at doing both for as long as I can. But I don't want to do that by taking something off the table. Like, I don't want to level throttle back just to say like, oh, I kept hitting and pitching at a solid level at like 37. No, he wants to show the best version of himself on both sides of the ball for as long as he can until his body gives out. So I think understanding that, like, with guys, you always kind of talk about like peak versus like entire career. Otani, like I think if he had to choose one of the two, he would choose the peak, which
Absolutely.
I absolutely understand. Like that's something where like you're going to talk about the stretch that he's had from 21 till 26, this prime of his career. Like that's as good of a prime as you could have. Understanding that he's doing both, understanding that even for a stretch of that prime, he wasn't doing both, and he still did something that the sport has never seen before. So that's what people are going to talk about more than like if he did that, if he hit and pitched at an all-star level for 20 years.
Ask any athlete. Ask any athlete. Do you want to dominate for that 10, 12-year run, or do you want to be great for 25, 30 years? Yeah, it'd be nice to be great for a long time. It'd be good. You want to dominate. Give me that dominant stretch. Any athlete will tell you that. They want that dominant. And guess what? Fans remember dominance. Fans remember dominance. And that's what Shohei Ohtani is hunting, and he's currently doing.
Yeah, because it comes down to like who would you want one game to win it all in your lineup, right? That to me is what settles it, right? I'd much rather be Shaq than Bill Russell. Like, no offense to Bill Russell, right? I mean, there's a lot of examples there. I mean, or you can be Messi and just be.
Mr. Doug McCain, yesterday, the one and only Shohei Ohtani, as you know, hit that 300th home run. And you noted, and you put together a pretty deep dive here, that while I think most of us consider Ohtani the best of all time, and while I think a lot of people would say he's the GOAT, there are certainly people who don't. I bumped into a guy playing tennis, I think I told you 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago, who listened to the show. I've never seen in my life, unsolicited, got angry and started like fingering almost in the chest. Like it didn't touch me, but it was close.
Wow, close.
Right?
Invading your space.
Why the babe is better than
Okay.
Ohtani. And so I know that you've sort of gotten into this, and you have a list of things, categories and deep dives and numbers on what needs to happen, not for Ohtani to be in I guess we're in a LeBron Jordan space right now where you can make the argument either way, but what does it take for Shohei Ohtani coming off yesterday's 300th home run, that leadoff homer, his 20th of the year, to be unquestionably the greatest of all time, to be Messi if you're not MTV Gen X's son or a Ronaldo fan, right? To be, I think it's Djokovic now in tennis, even though I don't want that to be true. I think it's beyond question. To be Tom Brady as a quarterback. And you've got 6 categories. You've got 5 that I know of in a mystery category. And I love mystery. By the way, I have a mystery segment for you later.
Oh, excited about that.
Turnabout's fair play.
A little mystery.
Shohei, boy.
I'll take that one.
And no,
that's more like you. You're that guy.
Usually what I say.
That's you.
All right, so the first thing is, obviously the dude hit his 300th home run yesterday. In fact, you want to hear what it sounds like?
Let's
you want to
hear
hear the
it.
magic?
Yes.
Here is, to start the Dodgers game, what history sounds like.
Highline drive, center field, carries over the wall. 300 for Shohei Ohtani.
And Dave Roberts, after the game, like many other people, still marveling at the greatness we see. It feels like just day in and day out. But the Dodgers skipper talked about his superstar all-timer.
I just marvel at him every day. So 300's a big number. I mean, he just had a birthday yesterday. Still young, still strong. So I definitely think 500 is in his future.
All right, you know, I did it wrong. Dodgers, boy! Works a little better. All right, so let's go through these. The first one, the home run category as part of Doug McCain, your plan and what you think needs to happen with your Dodgers expertise, unmatched by anybody out there, for Ohtani to go from being what we consider the greatest player of all time to the unquestioned greatest player of all time, regardless of where you are or who you root for or what you think about anything.
So that's the thing right there. I think you said it extremely well, as always, where, yeah, you can claim right now that Shohei Ohtani is already the best player ever imaginable, right? As far as no one would believe you if you said, I have a top 3 Cy Young level pitcher and a guy that can win MVP with the bat. But I do think there are some numbers that he needs to hit to go down as the undisputed GOAT. Because if you're the undisputed GOAT, that means there's no
Taking
debate.
notes.
There's no debate, right? And you look at home runs first. Dave Roberts touched on it right there. To get to 500 home runs. That is an incredible accomplishment, especially for someone that started his big league career at 23. Remember, guys like Bryce Harper,
That's a great call,
they
dude.
start at 19. So Shohei is piling up numbers.
Second fastest in history to 300, I think, or fifth fastest.
Fifth.
Sorry, fifth.
The 5th fastest ever.
See, I'm already putting him higher than he should be.
And the fastest.
I'm not to be trusted.
Yeah, the 5th fastest ever. And the rest of those guys on that list did not throw a single pitch, right? They weren't on the mound getting strikeouts. But for Shohei Ohtani to get to that 500 home run mark, he just hit his 300 yesterday with little over half the season left. I think it's safe to be conservative and predict that he'll hit at least 40 home runs this season. So I'm going to keep it at 40 right there, and that would put him at 320 bombs entering his age 32 season. He signed with the Dodgers through the 2033 season, so 7 more seasons. If you give him, let's say conservatively, 26 home runs, something in that range, 26 exactly, you're going to get to 500 home runs. So if he does get 500 home runs, he's not going to be Barry Bonds or Hank Aaron or Babe Ruth or Pujols. He's not going to be in that 700 club, won't be in that 600 club, but 520 in that range puts him at the 20th most home runs of all time. So give me 500 home runs.
All right, so this is the Shohei Ohtani, can't argue with it, GOAT checklist. Not ghost, that's a totally different thing. We'll do that at Halloween. GOAT checklist, 500 home run club, check. And I know everything is health allowing, D-Mac. It's D-Mac and Ryder on the new 97.1, The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. But health allowing, that one feels like a lock.
Yeah, he's going to get, barring injury, right? And, of course, we had this conversation about Mike Trout so many years ago, trying to predict his career. And, look, when a player gets past 35, injury, attrition, and a decline in performance is usually inevitable. But we're talking about the big show. But we're talking about Shohei Ohtani. So the rules of physics, the rules that apply to other players do not apply to him. So 500 bombs, I think we can say that definitively if he stays healthy, that he's going to get enough to do that. And also, too, if he wants to play past those 7 years, there's an outside chance he gets to 600. And that's a possibility as well. And he might want to go for 600, which even strengthens his case.
And then when that happens, you'll want him to sit because, we got to be careful he doesn't get hurt.
Hey, it's funny you mentioned that, Bill, because the truth is, if you want him to go for these longevity stats and his ability to pursue this, you got to, I think,
you're the guy that
carefully.
would have told Bo Jackson he really can't play baseball. Or maybe I do. Here on D-Mac and Ryder. I cannot believe that you are undervaluing the Cy Young Award as an individual thing to make him the greatest GOAT of all time. But okay, what else is under miscellaneous random, maybe like collect the right Pokemon cards?
So this is for the hardcore nerds of the game, right? The hardcore nerds of the game are going to say, what is the WAR numbers for Shohei
so move
Ohtani?
on to another category.
Yeah.
So under miscellaneous, you have most MVPs ever and win a Cy Young Award.
Most, and also, so this falls into batting title. Can he win a batting title? Can he win a Gold Glove if he transfers over to the outfield? Can he finish with the most RBIs? Is another one. Can he win a Triple Crown? So those are all major
I think a
factors.
Triple Crown would be, nobody cares anymore about Triple Crown.
They'd care if Shohei hit it, though.
I care.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the miscellaneous category as far as awards and individual season achievements.
I'm just trying to track it. I'm writing it all down on my piece of paper, like Van Wilder. Write that down. You're Van Wilder. I'm the person writing it down. Here
Can I answer one more on that one?
Sure.
So most home runs in a season. If Shohei Ohtani can hit 70 home runs, right? Bonds hit 73 in 2001. I think you make a fantastic point that he was juiced out of his mind. But if he hits 70 plus, allegedly, nicely done. Appreciate that, honestly. That definitely is a trumper right there.
Okay. WAR.
So this WAR one is going to be the one that I'm just prepping. Guys, no one loves Shohei Ohtani more than I do. Want to make that very clear here. But the one that the one that the nerds would point out as far as the WAR, in the WAR category where you mentioned Ruth, 182, Bonds, 162, Mays, 156.
This is career wins against replacement?
This is career wins above replacement. A 4 to 5 WAR season is all-star. A 9+ is elite MVP territory. Shohei right now is at 57.1. He's projected for 90 to 95, right? If Shohei gets 90, all I'm asking for is 90 from Shohei to be the all-time undisputed GOAT mixed with some of these other things. So I think 90 is the mark that you want him to hit. He should hit that. He's on pace for it. He needs to hit 85 to 90 WAR, I think, to go in the all-time undisputed. There's no question about it.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
Without us fighting on D-Mac and Ryder. You're in a golf shirt, man. You're in a chill vibe.
I'm never in a chill vibe.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's say he's at 69 home runs, and there's 2 games left in the season, and he has a slight bit of wear and tear, and they want to sit him and he wants to play, what do?
I'm so offended that you'd ask me this question.
I know what the answer
you
actually
know
is. I wanted to see
I
him tell the
would
truth.
absolutely 100% want him to go
No,
for
you
the
wouldn't.
all-time record. I think I've said this on this show that I think the most exciting thing that could happen in sports
Is
today
Shohei sit down on Tuesday?
would be Shohei Ohtani to go for the all-time single individual season home run record. I'm telling you, that is the path right there for Shohei Ohtani to just have the undisputed crowd. I don't want to hear anything about Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth to me is, I don't
今回のビデオで語られた大谷翔平選手をめぐる GOAT 史上最高論争は現代野球における評価基準そのものを再定義する極めて重要なテーマです。特に印象的なのは彼が通算300本塁打というスラッガーとしての金字塔をマウンドで三振の山を築きながら達成したという事実です。歴史上大谷選手と同じスピードで300本塁打を放ったレジェンドたちは誰一人として投球を行っていません。この比較だけでも、かの存在がどれほど規格外であるかがわかります。元メジャーリーガーたちが指摘した蓄積された通算成績、ロンジビティスタッツよりも、ピーク時の圧倒的な支配力、インパクトを評価すべきだ、という意見には深く同意します。大谷選手が見せている現在の全盛期は、かつてのベーブ、ルースやバリー・ボンズが全盛期に見せた支配力を凌駕しています。野球の歴史において、これほど高いレベルで投打を両立させ、チームに勝利をもたらし続けた選手は他に存在しません。また、米メディアが議論した通算90はあるという基準も興味深い指標です。ワール貢献度を示す指標、二刀流選手の価値を完全に破産出できないという限界がありますが、それでも大谷選手が引退までに90から95 R に到達すれば、セーバーメトリクスの観点からも、ベーブ、ルースを超える存在として、満場一致の GOAT として認められるでしょう。マイク・タイソンのような、他競技のレジェンドすら、その名を知るほどの影響力を持つ大谷選手が、今後どのような前人未到の記録を打ち立てるのか、我々はその歴史の目撃者として見守るしかありません。皆さんは、大谷選手がベーブ・ルースを超えて史上最高の選手になるためには、あと何が必要だと思いますか？ぜひコメント欄であなたの考えを教えてください。動画を最後までご覧いただきありがとうございます。大谷選手が史上最高の GOAT になるための条件について、皆さんはどう考えますか？ぜひコメント欄で教えてください。この動画が面白いと思った方は、高評価とチャンネル登録をよろしくお願いします。それでは、次の動画でお会いしましょう。